狠按着拳头砸下去，有人可能会变废柴哦。
What is up, guys? As you can see, today we are back with another King of Glory video, and today I'll be showing you a really cool hero which I've been actually enjoying a lot recently myself. It's a jungle ADC type of thing, but he can also change his form to a melee hero, so it's really cool. And I feel like this is a hero that we might get kinda soon in Arena of Valor, because it's only 3 skills, and you know they only give us the 3 skill heroes, but they are giving us a lot of them lately. So yeah, and basically this hero is the strongest early game jungler in King of Glory. Like basically you have to invade. You saw he already invaded the enemy buff, and you always wanna invade level 1 with this hero, because it starts with 2 abilities. It already has his ult from level 1, you know? So you can skill one of the first 2 abilities and your ult makes you turn into a tiger, and it basically changes your other 2 abilities, and they don't share cooldowns. As you can see here, he keeps switching between the 2 forms. It has a very low cooldown, so as you might expect, it's a really strong early game jungler. So because it starts with 2 abilities, level 1, right? And then so first of all, I will explain the ranged form abilities. So the ranged form is basically your first ability. You have ranged auto attacks, and the first ability is just an AoE skill shot in a line that hits all the enemies, that it passes through everyone and does damage to them based on their current health. So when they're full HP, it does the most damage, and it does magic damage, and it slows a little bit. That's about it. Then the second ability is it gives him a shield, and it does damage around him, and it buffs his attack speed for a couple seconds greatly. Like you have a lot of attack speed. And then you can see he doesn't use mana. He uses an energy mechanic. He has energy, and every skill uses energy, but auto attacks restore energy, and like it very slowly regenerates over time. So blue buff is pretty much useless for him. It's a very popular jungler for esports in KPL. They pick it a lot when they pair it with a mid laner that really needs blue buff. For example, L'Oreal, and then he can just give her every blue buff, and both are happy because he doesn't need the blue buff. And then yeah, so the ult also has like his passive is whenever he changes forms, the next auto attack will be special, okay? And the ranged form special auto attack is the next auto attack does bonus magic damage, and it's AoE. It has like a small AoE, so you can hit multiple people with it. And I have to say he's already snowballing, as you can see, because he is playing against Murad, which is of course one of the worst early game junglers, and he is one of the best early game junglers. He's paired with a Lumber, one of the best early game supports. Enemies have Chognar, one of the worst early game supports. So you already know from pick ban, this game is, if he plays it well, he can completely snowball really hard, just like he's doing. Of course, this is one of the server best Tiger players again, and you can see here he's playing with Kali, and he gave her the blue buff, or him in this game. It's a male hero, and yeah, Kali with blue buff, of course, the lower cooldown on the ult, really nice to have. So this is very, very popular hero for esports. Also, his speed at taking objectives, taking towers, taking dragons, etc. is so fast. Now let me get into the melee form abilities. So first of all, the melee passive, like he becomes a melee hero, right? When he's a tiger. And the melee passive is whenever he changes to the melee form, the next auto attack will have like big range, and you will jump to the enemy with it. And then the first ability is he bites an enemy, the tiger, and it's very melee, and it deals very little damage if the enemy is full HP, but the lower the enemy is, the more damage it deals. So it's like an execute. You want to use it at the end. And then the second ability is really cool. This is what makes the hero so strong, what makes him able to invade everything, and you max it actually. It is a jump, but if you just jump into a target direction, and if you jump at a wall, you can jump again. Like you can backflip off the wall, or like jump through the wall in a different direction with your left joystick. You can aim that. So basically, I'm sure you'll see it soon. You can just jump at walls. Like you can just cover so much distance. You can traverse through the jungle really fast. You saw it there. Like you saw it right here. He jumps at the wall, at this wall, and then jumps like to the Malok in his direction again. So basically, this hero is all about mobility, all about jungling, clearing the jungle super fast, out-rotating the enemies, early game especially, taking towers, stealing enemy camps, and yeah, just abusing the early game. And as you might guess already, he's an ADC. He completely builds ADC. He builds Fafnirs, he builds Omni Arms, and then he builds like some more AD stuff. Like it's a classic ADC hero. He doesn't build crit though, usually. I mean, Omni Arms in this game gives crit. But you can see here the passive auto attack after the melee farm. Here he jumps through the tower debris, like through the dead tower, jumps off of it, and then just changes to the range form, kills the Fennec with the auto attack. Yeah. Really cool hero. It's a really fun hero. You can spam a lot of abilities. I always like these heroes. As I said, it might come in AoV soon because it is a really I don't think it's a problematic hero. Some people would say don't add it to AoV maybe because it's really like one-sided. Like either you win early game really hard and then you can try to win, or you just lose early game and then it's really hard to come back, because as you can see it's a hero with 2 forms, but because you build completely squishy, your melee form late game becomes very, not useless, but it becomes very risky, you know? Like, I don't know, I was like 1k gold ahead of an enemy ADC, and he was half HP, I was full HP, and I jumped onto him with my melee form, and by the time I killed him, he bursted me to like 20% HP, so it still worked out, but I was very surprised that he could do that much damage before I kill him with my melee form, which is supposed to be an assassin, but it's really just for mobility. And most of the time the way you play in late game is just you spam that S2 that gives you a shield, not for the shield, just for the attack speed. You just want to auto attack people down. You can see there he completed Omni Arms. And really funny thing about this hero is actually the skin you're seeing is an actual Messi skin. Like the footballer, they paired up and they, like, in game, if you look at it, it truly looks like Messi. It's crazy. Like they didn't just make a football skin. Like, you know how the Valheim kinda looks like Ronaldo, the Valheim skin we have in AoV, but this is like truly paired up with Messi. He gets money from it. Yeah. So as you can see here, he's building Fafnirs, completed the Omni Arms. He's probably gonna go for a Muramasa right now, and yeah. And you can see just how fast he can take these Slayers down. Of course, his team is helping him here. Valheim is really fast at it too. But I play this hero a lot lately, and you can just truly solo Slayer the moment it spawns. Like if you're snowballing, you don't even have to be 8-0 like this guy. If you're like, I don't know, 5, or like you have 5 kills, maybe even 3 deaths, you're not even doing that well. But as soon as the enemies are not paying attention to the Slayer, you can just yoink it really quickly. You can see here, as soon as there's a tanky enemy, he doesn't deal that much damage anymore. It's 9 minutes into the game, he's already starting to fall off right now. Really, this hero is all about using the early game. If you fail to use the early game and it's a high elo game, like it's esports, like pro play, you will just, like, you can pretty much surrender because you're not gonna be any useful. And yeah, the cool thing is you can jump from any wall, you can jump off the tower, you can jump off the Nexus, you can jump off the little dead towers things, so yeah. And you can see here, now all they have to do is take down the base towers, but this hero struggles a little bit with that. But like whenever you pick this hero, you really want something that can take down these base towers, and something like Kali is pretty good at that because she can just zone the enemies off with her ult. But as soon as it gets too late game and the enemy tanks are too tanky, they will be able to just tank the ult, and then it just becomes hard. Like with this comp, they also have a Valheim. Like if they had a Violet, she's obviously very good at poking down the base towers as soon as a minion comes close to them. But you can see he's just so far ahead, he can just jump in pretty much 1v4 here and just poke them down. They don't have too much CC either. As long as he dodges this enemy's mage skills, he won't really be in too much trouble. And you can see here, they pretty much had to dive the enemies for them to be able to take this tower. And now just now they can just go in really deep. He will probably die here. He has his death sickle, he gets the shield, but I think he will die here. Nope. He tried to change back to the range form and use his shield again because it's a very low cooldown, but he ended up overextending. We will skip his death timer. He will just clear his jungle now, and I assume he's waiting for the next large objective, like either Dragon or the Slayer, because as I said, it's really hard for this hero to push the high ground. That's the issue he has. That's why, like, when you see it in esports, they always pick something that is capable of doing that. Like even just Malok jumping in and just putting down that ult so the enemies have to either get dove or back away already helps a lot. But if you just have like something stupid, like, I don't know, some stupid heroes that really can't do much, then it's just, even if you win really hard early game, as long as the enemies have some wave clear, you really just can't win at this point anymore. But they should be fine here. I'm skipping a little bit because they're just gonna take the last towers. And yeah, I really hope they give this hero to us in AoV, because in AoV there's not a lot of like truly good junglers that do different things, you know. There's the only jungler you pick in AoV that can give your team blue buff, your mid laner, is pretty much Ryoma. So as soon as you want to pick a L'Oreal, if you want to, like, the main reason they don't play L'Oreal that much in pro play is just because she needs blue buff, and stuff like Nakrov and Murad are just really good junglers right now, and they really don't want to give over the blue buff to anyone, so they rather just pick a mage that doesn't rely on it, like Raz or something. And yeah, that was it. Again, this was a pretty high elo gameplay. I can show you the items if you guys want to see them, but as I said, these items are mostly different. The Fafnirs is the same. You would probably build, if this hero were to come in AoV, you would probably build Fafnirs. You would for sure build Omniarms as well, and then he built Rank Breaker here, or Spear of Longinus. You might build Rank Breaker even as a first item, because in AoV it's just so strong. But yeah, like you might even go crit on this hero, because it doesn't really fit, but he gets a lot of attack speed, and the crit items in AoV are just really strong right now. That even Enzo goes crit, and he doesn't really go crit anymore in COG. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you did, leave a like. Let me know which other videos you want to see of this game, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out, boys. Bye bye.